Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome to another flight in the PMDG 777-300ER. Today we are going to fly the Emirates Flight 83 from Dubai to Geneva, which is a beautiful sunset flight arriving at the golden hour in Geneva in a beautiful approach in between the Alps. I'm really looking forward to this, so let's say without any further ado we are going to get right into it. Now, absolutely wonderful repaint of the cabin as well over here, really representing that Emirates feeling in their 777 very, very nicely, isn't it? I do really like it, really have to say that. Now, as we're making our way up to the flight deck, a quick word from today's sponsor, Say Intentions AI. If you're looking for an air traffic control add-on that is not just doing your standard IFR A to B flight, but also other things like VFR, data link, and even a cabin crew simulation, then Say Intentions may just about be for you. So if you like what you're about to see in today's video, then check them out using the link in the pinned comment or the video description below. And with that said, let's get right into this one. Let's take a seat here on the captain's seat of our 777. We're going to start by turning on the ADRU and then just verifying that we have sufficient oil in our engines, and that is looking good. Then we're also going to verify our hydraulic fluids, our oxygen pressure. We can also do the oxygen test at this point, both on the left side as well as on the right hand side. Now, let's go ahead and check our ICAS, making sure that all the messages we see over here are actually expected messages, and those are looking pretty good. Alright, so let's go ahead and just go down to the FMC, check 777-300ER G90 engine with 115K rating, nav database is up to date. Then we can copy and paste that GPS position, and let's download our flight plan. So request that data please, thank you, and then we can take that SimBrief route, set that SimBrief payload, and select this. The reason I wanted to select the payload so early is so that we can start the boarding process in GSX, which might very well take a little bit of time, since we are running 370 passengers today. Alright, the flight plan is downloaded, so let's go ahead and start taking a look down here. We're going to start with the en route charts, and as you can see we are taking the southerly route south of Israel today. So we are heading across the Arabian Gulf into Saudi Arabia, then across Egypt into the Mediterranean, Greece, and finally into Switzerland. The significant weather chart is quite clear for the first half of our flight. The second half is unfortunately a little bit more busy as we are crossing that jet stream and this area number 3 over here, which is moderate turbulence up to flight level 400 for pretty much our entire flight across anything that is an ocean today. Well, God, I guess we can't do anything about that. And do note that second one as well here, with that jet stream with a core in flight level 310, which actually reads severe turbulence. In other words, once we are overflying the border into Italy, we are going to turn the seatbelt signs on today, because with that strong wind blowing across the mountains here, we could expect some severe mountain waves and the turbulence associated with that. Alright, with that in mind, let's have a look into our airport weather, and we are departing Dubai in beautiful weather conditions, 25 degrees, QNH 1013, slightly reduced visibility due to dust, but overall good weather. Geneva is, well, a little bit rainy, temperature 6 degrees, but overall good weather conditions. We do have that tempo weather, 230 at 15, gust 25, however we don't need to worry too much about that because it is right down the runway, so even if it gets bumpy, that is not going to be a problem. Now, our alternate in Milano has absolutely wonderful weather conditions, but that's about the only alternate with wonderful weather. As you can see, Nice, rather gusty, runway 22 down there, so quite cross as well. Zurich, also gusts up to 40 knots down runway 28, which would probably be our main landing runway. Well, the only one we can actually take with those gusts, and 28 isn't all that long as well. Now, if we look at Paris, Charles de Gaulle, we can also see the same thing here, gusts all over the place, even though down the runway again, but then again, Charles de Gaulle is also rather far away, so Milano is the preferred alternate here. Now, departing Dubai at 10:40, we are going to arrive 10 minutes ahead of schedule in Geneva. We are not critical with any of our weights, and we're cruising level 340 first, 360 later. And then we can have a look into our fuel, and the fuel gives us 61.8 plus taxi. So if we round that up, we end up at 63 tons of fuel, and I'd say that that is a good figure. So let's go down to weight and balance and import that from SimBrief, and then we can set the fuel to 63 tons down here, and then we should be good to go. Alright, that's all set. Lovely. Then we can start with our FMC setup. So let's just get that flight plan right down here, and here we go. Okay, so Dubai to Geneva, Emirates 83, that is looking correct. Then let's go ahead and load that stuff. Let's also go down and request an ATIS for our departure. So we're looking for OMDB. From Say Intentions, send that, thank you. Hey, what is it doing again? Here we go, that's better. Alright, the ATIS has arrived, and it's Dubai Information Foxtrot, departing runway 30 right, 280 at 9, and QNH 1012 now. That's good for me as well. Here we go, 1012. Okay, so departure 30 right, and we're departing via the Zenpa to Foxtrot departure, which we can select down here, and then arrival is going to be an ILS runway 22 via the Banco 3 Romeo arrival, which is this one, SAPA transition, route activate. And execute. Okay, then let's have a look at the legs page, and for that we need the SID. So let's quickly secure all those charts. We need an airport chart, and we can also take the taxi and parking charts. Well, those over here are going to be fine. And then we need the SID for the Zenpa to Foxtrot, which is this one. Okay, so let's see, we are departing straight at Delta Bravo 570, minimum 180 knots, then it's a left turn, Delta Bravo 582, minimum 190 knots, Delta Bravo 583, maximum 220 knots, and we need to add those manually. Here we go. Okay, then we continue via Emopo, Gibur, Ivili, and Sempa. Okay, that's all looking excellent down here. Initial climb probably going to be 4,000 or so, but that shall not be our problem for the time being. So, wind data request. Might take a little while to arrive here. So, 2,896 nautical miles, and according to the plan we are supposed to have 2,899 nautical miles, so that is absolutely good. So let's load the wind data, execute, and the descent forecast as well, which should arrive in any moment now. 3, 2, 1, now. Damn it. Here it is. Okay, load that. So, progress page is good, nothing tuned, then OMDB and a 25-mile ring. Like that. VNAV, transition altitude 13,000, that is correct. Now let's get on to the performance. So, alternate 4.9, final 3.1, so we end up with 8 tons of reserve fuel down here. Zero fuel weight 220.8. Cruising in flight level 340. Cost index is 80. Minimum fuel temperature minus 44, since we got Jet A1 in here. Cruise CG 30. And for our noise abatement, it's procedure number 2, that is looking correct. And with that, we have pretty much done our setup. So let's open the performance page on this side, the route page on that side, and that's it. Okay, then we can start our panel scan. ADRU is on, everything's done. Voice recorder is coming on, emergency lights, seatbelt signs going on, everything is set over here, everything is set over here. Okay, so we'll take a 10-mile range. VORs are selected, then we want airports and we want terrain. Over here the flight directors are coming on, the auto throttle arm switch is supposed to be on anyway. And on the other side, airport and terrain can be selected as well. QNH down here, 1012, auto brake RTO. Frequencies we'll deal with in a few moments. Park and brake is set. Then transmit VHF 1 and 2, and we want the flight interphone as well. Weather radar goes to weather and turbulence. We do not have a third pilot, so the third ACP can remain off. Center is set. Right side we want 1 to 1.5. Like that, and VHF 1 and 2. T-cars above, Squawk 2000, and standby, and that's it for our setup. Okay, so let's see if we can grab an IFR clearance already. So we got information Foxtrot. Departure clearance request, facility OMDB. Our ATIS is Foxtrot, our gate is Bravo 27. Alright, and we'll call it a good afternoon. So, this is all correct. Send. And here we go. So while we're waiting for our clearance, let's go ahead and start with the departure briefing, please. We're departing Dubai, runway 30 right. Sandbar to Foxtrot departure, initial climb, I suppose it's going to be 4,000. The MSA is 4,000 as well, due to the skyscrapers over the city. And extra fuel and time, we got 0. So, hotspots for our taxi out is a crossing of runway 30 left. I do hope that we are going to get the short taxi route and not that super long one. In any case, stop margin for the rejected takeoff is just a couple meters, and the engine out sits straight at 25 miles to pick up the holding. Immediate return is possible. Runway 30 left is the landing runway. We're about 30 tons overweight, so we are going to decide on the course of action depending on what we are depending on what situation we're in. I will only do an immediate return for any fire that is unextinguishable, and if we got nothing special or non-standard, then that's it for my part of the briefing. Anything from your side? No? Alright, so that's our departure briefing complete. Then let's see, the IFR clearance just has arrived. So, cleared to Geneva via Sempa to Foxtrot departure, which is confirmed. Maintain 4,000 feet, departure 122.5. I'm going to tune that down here as a reminder. Here we go, 122.5. Squawk 5653. Here it is, and expect runway 30 right. Okay. Accept, and we got runway 30 right, Sampa to Foxtrot, initial 4,000 and 5653. That's all checked. Alright, lovely. So with that, the clearance is on board. And pre-flight checklist. Oxygen tested 100%, flight instruments. Altimeter, heading 310, altimeter 1012, reading 20, set left, set right, pre-flight checklist complete. So, how's the boarding going? Yeah, almost there, 40 passengers to go. then let's pretend that we've already gotten the final low treat, because hey, our ground stuff is just good, aren't they? So, zero fuel weight 220.8 as expected, and that's in here, giving us 283.8. So, performance tool, Dubai, 30 right. We want to take the intersection, so that's about 3,800 meters of takeoff run available. Takeoff weight is 284, and I forgot the CG, 32. Okay, the wind is 280 at 9. The temperature is 25 degrees and the QNH 1012. Anti-ice off, air conditioner auto, all the rest is looking good. Calculate. 57 degrees flex temperature. Okay, 91.9% N1, that is checked. Flaps 5, CG 32, and the speeds 164, 172, 175. Like this. Alright, trim 4.25 units, that is checked as well, and then we are done with our takeoff performance calculation. Okay, lovely. Let's go ahead and find the ground frequencies. So, Dubai ground, south 1955. Like this. And actually, no, that is the tower. Ground is 1835. And then we'll probably need the north tower on 1875. Like that. Alright, good. Frequencies are pre-selected, and that's about it. So, how's the boarding going? Looks like they are still at it. Let's see. Boarding completed. Okay, beautiful. Then let's say hello to our passengers. Salam alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, from Flytech, this is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel, and in the name of Emirates, I would like to welcome you all on board of our Boeing 777 on our flight to Geneva. We are almost ready to go up here, just closing the doors and finishing up the last paperwork, and then we will be starting our engines in a few moments. We're expecting a flight time of 6.5 hours today with a smooth flight and an on-time arrival in Geneva. For the time being, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and if there is anything we can do for you to make it more enjoyable, please do not hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew members. Thank you very much for your attention, and once again, welcome on board. Okay, so, door management, close all. Ground service vehicles are all released anyway, and then we are on the APU. The doors should be closing right now, at least I do hope so. GSX is preparing for pushback and departure. So, ground from flight deck. Please confirm that all doors and hatches are closed. Well, they aren't yet, but please confirm that you are closing them. The ground equipment is getting removed and the pins are installed. That is all confirmed. We're still in the progress of closing the doors though, which seem to be not reacting. Oh god, GSX, not again. Not again. So, close all doors. Do it, now. It says closing. Okay, so, armor. Cargo doors are still in transit. So, ground, can we pressurize the hydraulics, please? Stand by. Okay, they're closing. Good. And everything's closed, and now looking good down here as well. Yes, Captain, you can pressurize the hydraulics. Thank you. So 175 to 99, 4000 and LNAV and VNAV. Okay, let's pressurize. So the fuel in center message does not show, there is just 1 ton in there, that's okay. Then trim 4.25 and transponder on. Okay, before start checklist down to the beacon please. Flight deck door is closed and locked. MCP V2175 heading 299, altitude 4000. Takeoff speeds V1 164, VR 172, V2 175. CDU pre-flight complete. Trim 4.25, 0 and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Holding at beacon. Dubai ground, Emirates A3 Heavy, request pushback and startup.
Emirates A3, pushback and startup approved. Face northeast.
Pushback and startup approved, facing northeast, Emirates A3. Okay, before start checklist complete. So, ground from flag, pushback and startup are approved, facing northeast, and the parking brake is set. Roger that, facing northeast, and please release brakes. Parking brake released. Roger, start on the pushback and stand by for engines. Actually, I just remember Emirates puts the transponder into TARA straight away. Okay then, off we go. So, off block at 35, schedule is 40. That's what I call punctuality. That's what you get for putting a German in the flight deck. Just make sure that they are just using the airports, not building them. That could go down an entirely different road. Okay, so engine start sequence is going to be 1 then 2, and we'll begin with engine number 1 now. Engine 1 start. Damn, it's looking busy once again.
Emirates 7 Tango Romeo ready to taxi.
It's looking really busy.
Emirates 7 Tango Romeo, runway 30 right taxi via Juliet. Juliet 3, kilo 11, kilo 12. Hold short of runway 30 left, then M15B, M15A.
Runway 30 right taxi via Juliet, Juliet 3, kilo 11, kilo 12. Hold short of runway 30 left, then M15B, M15A, Emirates 7 Tango Romeo.
Secure your own mask before assisting others.
Okay, ground, we have a good start in engine number 1, starting engine number 2.
Under your seat.
Clear 2.
Put it on and inflate it.
Engine 2 start.
Aircraft. Floor level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which may be behind you. In case of evacuation, leave all
And 2.
personal belongings behind and follow crew instructions.
All pressure.
If any electronic device becomes hot or catches fire, inform a crew member immediately. The safety information card contains all details. Thank you for your attention.
Sky Dubai 5 Tango Charlie, runway 30 right taxi via Papa, Papa 2, Alpha.
So, how much further are they pushing us? N1.
Runway 30 right taxi via Papa, Papa 2, Alpha, November.
I do hope that pushing into this direction means that we are going to get the short taxi across 30 left. And not the long one around it. Because the long one easily takes 20 minutes. Okay, pushback completed, set park and brake. Brake set. And we have 2 good engine starts, you're clear to disconnect. Please show me the pin on the left hand side and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Okay, let's start with the flight controls. Full up.
Emirates Nina
Full
03,
down.
give way to the company
Neutral.
A380 on your left.
Full left.
Giving way to the company A380 Emirates
Full right.
3.
Neutral. Rudder.
Emirates, Niner 03,
Full left.
give way to the Yemeni R320.
Full right. And neutral. Okay, before taxi checklist. Anti-ice. Auto, recall, checked. Flight controls, checked. Ground equipment. So there's a tug, and that's a lifter, there's a ramp agent, and he's holding a pin. Ground equipment removed. B4 taxi checklist complete. Emirates 83 Heavy, request taxi.
Emirates 83, runway 30 right taxi, via Whiskey, Kilo, Kilo 7, hold short of runway 12 right, then M10B, Mike, M15A.
Emirates 83, taxi runway 30 right via Whiskey, Kilo, Kilo 7, November 10, Bravo, Mike, Mike 15 Alpha, and hold short runway 12 right. Alright, Whiskey, Kilo, Kilo 7, okay, that's something new, and then up here all the way to the full length. Alright, cool, we can do that. Then we're clear on the left side, and we're clear on the right side. Parking brake released. Let's go. And that is about the shortest taxi that we could possibly wish for. So I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, going straight ahead over here, and then Whiskey, Kilo, Kilo 7. So straight out to the end, right, left, hold short. No need to accelerate past 10 knots over here, our cabin needs to get ready anyway. And, well, I don't want to put additional energy into the brakes. Okay, approaching Zulu. Clear on both sides. Then Kilo is the next one to the right after this. And then Kilo 7 is right over here.
Hold short of runway 30 left. Then M15B, M15A.
Runway 30 right.
Okay, again we're clear on Kilo.
1 Kilo, Kilo 12, hold short of runway 30 left.
So a little bit of an oversteering probably.
M15A, Emirates
Cabin ready, I love it.
Ground, Sky Dubai 9er Hotel Charlie, taxi to parking.
Sky Dubai 9er Hotel Charlie, taxi to parking via M14B, M14A, hold short of runway 30.
Okay, and here is Kilo 7.
Papa 9er. Emirates 83, hold short of runway 12 right, A320, vacating the runway.
Holding short of runway 12 right, Emirates 83.
Approaching 1, 2,
Emirates
right.
83, contact tower on 118.75 for departure clearance.
118.75, Emirates 83. Dubai Tower, Emirates 83 Heavy, request crossing runway 30 left. Okay, there's the A320.
Runway 30 left is not available. Active runway is 30 right.
Emirates 83, request to cross runway 30 left. Come on, it's not that difficult. What's the A320 doing there?
Emirates 83. Negative, runway 30 left is not available. Active runway is 30 right.
Oh god, are you really that silly, tower? Okay, no comment, I'll cross it anyway. Let's wait until that Pakistan A320 is past us, and then we'll just do it on our own. Okay, here we go, crossing. The right side is... Well, that guy seems to be taxiing there, wherever you are taxiing on a runway. So the right is clear.
Hotel Charlie, hold short of runway 30 right.
30R, holding short, Sky Dubai 9er Hotel Charlie.
Alright, so Mike 10 Bravo, right into Mike, and then Mike 15 Alpha is the full length. So we're clear on the left, and we're clear on the right. 1 A380 ahead, 1 A380 taking off there.
Emirates 70, Mike cross, runway 30 left.
30 left, Emirates 70, Mike.
So let's see, I see a lot of traffic, so it might probably take a while.
Sky Dubai 9er Hotel Charlie, hold short of runway 30 right.
Alright, no changes to our takeoff briefing, before takeoff checklist, and before takeoff checklist complete. Yep, that looks like peak departure time scenarios here. That's typical for Dubai, so I'd say we are just going to mute this for a moment, put on a little bit of acceleration here so that you guys don't have to watch me standing at the departure runway for half an hour, and then I'll see you all when we are actually ready for departure. Emirates 83 Heavy, ready for departure.
Emirates 83 Heavy, runway 30 right, line up and wait.
Runway 30 right, line up and wait, Emirates 83 Heavy. Okay, so lining up. The wait wasn't as bad as I feared it to be.
Emirates 83 Heavy, runway 30
Right side is clear,
wind
left side is
280
clear.
at 9er, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 30 right, clear for takeoff, Emirates 83 Heavy. Okay, are you ready? Let's make this a decent lineup.
On runway 30 right.
Takeoff. Thrust set.
80 knots.
Checked.
V1. Rotate. Great.
Gear up. $400.
Emirates 546, hold short of runway 12 right.
12R, holding short, Emirates 546.
Autopilot on.
Emirates 83, contact departure.
Over to departure, Emirates 83. Flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Emirates 83, contact departure on 122.5.
122.5, Emirates 83. That's easier. Dubai departure, Emirates 83 Heavy, passing 1,700, climbing 4,000. Speed, vertical speed.
Emirates 83 Heavy, min hard departure, radar contact, climb 10,000 direct Delta Bravo 570.
Climbing 10,000 via Delta Bravo 570, Emirates 83 Heavy. Set. 10,000 checked. VNAV. And we are overflying 570 anyway right now. So we got to keep the flaps extended for a little bit to meet that 220 knot restriction. Alright.
Emirates 83, climb flight level 200.
Climbing flight level 200, Emirates 83.
Express India 831, direct UL dot.
Set.
Clear
200
for the
checked.
RNAV runway 30 left approach. Descend and maintain altitude 2,000 feet until established.
That looks lovely once again. Seeing the city down there in the dust. Lovely weather out at Dubai again.
Contact UAE center on 118.925.
118.925, Emirates 83. Okay, what the hell is it doing? That's a little interesting. Emirates 83, please say again. What is that autopilot doing? Manual flight.
Emirates 83, contact UAE center on 118.925.
118.925, Emirates 83. Autopilot. That looks better. Flaps up. Speed checked. Flaps up. UAE center, Emirates 83 heavy, passing 5,600, climbing level 200. And flaps up no lights. After takeoff checklist? After takeoff checklist complete.
UAE center identified. Good afternoon, Dubai QNH 1011.
QNH 1011, Emirates 83 heavy. Set QNH. 1011 cross check, passing 6,500 now. Checked. Okay, then we don't need that clock anymore. The engines are running on climb thrust. Well, that was an interesting autopilot behavior there. I think I figured out what it actually was. I pressed a little button to get to the outside for that view earlier on, and apparently that has somehow caused the rudder to deflect. And yeah.
Emirates 83, climb flight level 250.
Climbing flight level 250, Emirates 83. Set. 250 checked, VNAV. Yeah, if you do deflect the rudder like that, then of course the autopilot can get into control problems. Something that many simmers don't realize is how incredibly effective the rudder is on aircraft like this. Basically, in the flight simulator, it's often the case that the rudder doesn't really function as strongly as it does in the real world. However, what I can say is, in the real world, full rudder deflection at a speed like this and you will not be able to keep the aircraft wings level, just like the autopilot had problems earlier on. When I touched the rudder very slightly, that is what solved the problem. Okay, passing 10,000. And I think now we're good. No turbulence forecast here as well, so seatbelts are coming off. Okay, so optimum 337, cruising 340, and the step climb is planned to level 360. Let's have a quick look as to where we are supposed to do the step according to the plane at Anide. Where is Anide? Must have missed it. Okay, well, then we are just going to do an optimum step climb. That shall be fine with me. Alright, my friends. So, for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and then I'll get back to you when we're on the approach into Geneva. Climbing flight level 290, Emirates 83. Set, 290 checked. Let's quickly connect to CPDLC as well. ATC, lock on, Oscar, Mike, Delta, Whiskey. Okay, send the lock on, and that's it. Alright, my friends, for now sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and then I'll get back to you when we start the approach. And that's done that. Static cross-checked, passing level 139. Now. Checked. Okay, lock-on accepted. And ATC com established with Dubai, respectively UAE. Alright, then I see you all when we start the approach into Geneva. Alright, my friends, if this isn't the beautiful type of view that we all became pilots for, then what is? Now let's go ahead and prepare our 777 for the arrival into Geneva. So, a little bit of weather in and around the airport, even though the airport itself seems green right now, so that is quite good. Let's go ahead and have a look at the ATIS. So, review uplink ATIS. So, currently arriving and departing runway 22 is in use, wind 24085, visibility 10, few clouds, broken clouds, and QNH 1005. Not even any mention of precipitation in there, so that is quite good. Now, let's go ahead and have a look into the approach, and hand over to Switzerland. Copied. Contact final.
Good evening, flight level 160 for flight level 110.
Emirates 83 Heavy, Geneva final approach identified. Good evening, expect the ILS runway 22 approach into Geneva.
Alright, expecting the ILS 22.
Expecting the ILS runway 22 approach into Geneva. Emirates 83 Heavy.
So, let there be light. Like this. Alright then, let's go ahead and have a look. The approach starts at Saper in 7,000 and our final descent point is 17.7 miles out. And then we got a standard 3-degree descent down to a minimum of 1565. The temperatures are positive, so we don't need to be worried about our about any cold temperatures over here, but we do need to be worried about the terrain, which is left and right of the approach. Therefore, terrain display is on, but we are also going to be using the weather radar in order to have both. Okay, we are reducing the speed in accordance with the arrival already, And then we can go ahead and start with the approach briefing. So this is going to be the, what is it called? Banco 3 Romeo arrival for an ILS approach runway 22. MSA is up to 15,000 depending on the direction, but following the arrival we don't have any problem over here. Minimum 1565, extra fuel and time. We arrive with 10.2, the minimum is 8, so we carry about 15 minutes extra. Now the approach is going to be flown with flight director guidance and flaps 30, maximum reverse, auto brakes 3, vacate the runway to the left hand side. We got nothing special today, we got nothing non-standard, and threats for the arrival is very clearly the terrain and the weather. So we're going to mitigate against those by using the weather radar on my side, terrain display on your side, and well, that's all we can do about this. Apart from that, I got no threats, and we got nothing miscellaneous either, do we? No, wonderful. Okay, then that's our approach briefing completed. No, why is it lagging? 3, 2, 1, continue. Please. I really don't know why this keeps happening. Had it a few times this flight already. It is going to recover eventually, so I'm not worried about that at all. See, here we're going. So 1,000 to go. So let's start slowing down already. There is no sense flying fast into the wrong direction. Vertical speed. Now, I don't really trust that weather radar, so that red over here is probably nothing. Emirates 83, request further descent.
Descending at our discretion, Emirates 83.
Well, that's not exactly what I wanted, but I'm not gonna complain either. Then let's go down to 7,000 here. And level change to 30. Okay, set QNH. QNH 1005 cross-check, passing 10,700. Now. Checked. Alright, approach checklist. Altimeters, QNH 1005, approach checklist complete. And we're approaching level 100. Lights, signs, standby instruments, that's all good. Okay, so we gotta continue straight ahead. Sapa is where the approach is going to start, and that current rate of descent here seems to be rather good. Including the base turn, little speed reduction, then we are absolutely good to go with like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our final approach into Geneva. At this time, we kindly ask you to turn off all electronic devices and stow them until we have arrived at the gate. Please ensure your train...
Entering terminal airspace, CPDLC service terminated. Copied, and lock off. Cabin ready, perfect.
The weather in Geneva is currently mild, with a temperature of around 15 degrees Celsius. Our assigned gate is Terminal 16. Thank you for your cooperation.
Emirates 83, turn left, heading 335 vectors for the ILS, runway 22 approach.
Left heading 335, Emirates 83.
Left heading 33.
Oh, forgot that our first officer was still enabled there. Okay, so Sapa on top. Like that.
3 heavy, 11 miles from Petal. Turn left heading 255, descend altitude 4640 feet until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 22 approach.
Descending flight level 070, turning left heading 325, Emirates 83.
Okay.
Left heading 255, descend 4640 feet until established on the localizer.
4640. Well, I kind of
Clear
doubt
ILS
that.
runway 22
Let's make that
approach.
5,000.
Emirates 83.
Okay, we are cleared for the approach. A little bit of weather in front of us, but nothing significant. 21 miles out. India Sierra Whiskey is confirmed. Man, we're getting like one beautiful screenshot after the other on this flight. I don't even know which one to choose for the thumbnail later on. Okay then, we are clear of any of that weather over here. We are also clear of any of the terrain. Approach arms. The glide slope is coming alive. With that headwind we can reduce the speed later on, and we are still 20 miles out at the end of the day. Okay, then we'll leave our first officer in charge of the comms. Let's go ahead and have a little bit of fun. Manual flight. 1,000 to go. Set vertical speed minus 1,000. And flaps 1. Speed checked. Localizer capture. Alright, approach light in sight. Alt. 15 miles, speed is good. I'll wait with a further speed reduction until we actually have glide slope capture. Because we're still so far out over here. Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing. Oh yeah, those gusts do start coming in now. Okay, flaps 5. Just want to stabilize it a little bit.
Emirates 83, contact Geneva Tower on 118.7.
Get a little bit more margin to the low speeds there.
118.7. Emirates 83.
Okay, glide slope capture.
Geneva Tower, Emirates 83. Good evening, established on the ILS runway 22 approach.
7,000 feet set.
Emirates 83 Heavy, Geneva Tower, roger, continue approach.
I think we picked exactly the right time of the year to fly this. Look at the beautiful lighting outside here. And without the clouds it would probably look a little more beautiful, but hey. What do you expect in winter time?
Emirates 83 Heavy, winds 2405, runway 22, cleared to land.
Runway 22, cleared to land. Emirates 83 Heavy.
Terrain noted. Okay, so field elevation 1,400. So we are going to configure in 3400. Alright, gear down, flaps 20. Flaps 30. Speed checked, flaps 30. Landing checklist. Landing checklist complete. Alright, we're clear to land. Everything is done. The runway is on our 12 o'clock. Couple of thermals bumping us around over here. But here we go. 3-degree pitch, that should be roughly what we need.
1000.
Checked. And we are fully stabilized.
Approaching 2-2.
Another little thermal. See how we need to go a degree lower on the pitch there in order to maintain the glide. Beautiful lighting on the houses down there on the final.
500.
Checked. Ew, that was quite the bump.
Minimum.
Continue. So, just maintain the attitude and then the plane is going to stabilize itself.
100. 50. 40. 30.
Idle.
20. 10.
Speed brake up. Thrust wheels normal. That was an interesting final. That was bumpier than I thought. $100 knots.
Emirates 83, welcome to Geneva.
80 knots.
Ground on 121.68.
Manual brakes.
Ground on 121.68. Emirates 83.
And here we are.
Geneva ground, Emirates 83. Good evening, cleared of runway. Ready to taxi to the gate.
Emirates 83, Geneva ground. Taxi to Terminal 1, Gate 6 via Delta. Link 4, inner taxiway. Good day.
Okay, Delta, link 4, inner.
Terminal 1, Gate 6 via Delta. Link 4, inner taxiway.
There is no Gate 6.
Emirates 83.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. No comment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Geneva. Did you know that Geneva is home to the largest lake in Western Europe, Lake Geneva, which is surrounded by stunning mountains? Thank you for choosing to fly with Emirates. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until we have reached our final parking position.
Dolomiti 5 kilo, runway 22 taxi.
Okay, so link 4 is over here.
The local time in Geneva
Runway 22 taxi via link.
Main terminal, non-Schengen. Well, Delta Stand 6 is in the Schengen area. We are definitely not in Schengen here. Let's do something non-Schengen then. Maybe the one straight ahead. That's gate 14. Tells us doesn't exist. Okay. 15 is occupied. Then we're gonna take 17. No follow me needed. Handling by shipport. Slightly different than what ATC assigned, but I'm trusting GSX for once. So, looks like the early flight is still here. Interesting. They must have quite a bit of delay. Alright, start APU. So, we selected stand 17, so that's one more. Here's 16. Beautiful scenery, isn't it? I really like those works by Jetstream Design. They're doing awesome jobs here. Alright, lights off. Here we go. So, 777-300 is on the guidance system. So let's make it nice and slow. And stop. Okay, APU running is confirmed. Shutdown. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. Okay, here we are. And both engines are below 20. So, shutdown checklist. Park and brake, set. Shutdown checklist complete. Okay, let's see. Everything over here is looking good. There is nothing for the logbook. Then we can disarm those slides before anyone fires one. And set the chocks, request ground power. So, disarm all doors. What's the jetway doing? It's connecting, and that looks like it's coming to one left, is it? They've just opened both. Okay, happy with that as well. Alright. So, ground power is connected, then we can shut that APU down, release the park and brake, and with that, welcome to Geneva. Thank you, my friends, for flying along. I hope you liked this flight. As always, let me know your feedback in the comments underneath the video. Like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.